The moment you stop believing that life is against you, something extraordinary begins to happen inside your mind. The world does not suddenly change. The problems do not disappear. The failures do not apologize. But you change. And when you change, everything around you responds. Act as if everything always works out for you, not because life is easy, but because your belief becomes stronger than your fear, stronger than your doubts, stronger than every voice that once told you to stay small. Most people wait for proof before they believe. They wait for success before they feel confident. They wait for money before they feel worthy. They wait for applause before they feel powerful. But the truth is, life does not reward waiting. Life rewards those who move first, those who act with faith, even when the evidence is missing. Acting as if everything works out for you is not pretending that pain doesn't exist. It is choosing courage over comfort. It is deciding that no matter what happens, you will find a way forward. When you walk into a room believing that everything will work out, your posture changes. Your voice becomes steady. Your eyes carry clarity. People feel it before you say a word. Opportunities are not only attracted to skills, they are attracted to energy. The world listens to those who speak with certainty, even when their path is unclear. Confidence is not arrogance. It is trust in your ability to figure things out along the way. Think about how many times in your life you were scared, unsure, and unprepared, yet you survived. Think about how many situations you once believed would destroy you, but today they are just memories. If everything did not work out exactly as you wanted, it worked out in a way that made you stronger, wiser, more capable. So why doubt yourself now? Why assume that the future will suddenly become cruel when the past has already proven your resilience? Acting as if everything works out for you means you stop negotiating with fear. Fear will always ask for guarantees. Fear wants certainty before action. But growth never comes with guarantees. The people who change their lives are not the smartest or the luckiest. They are the ones who move despite uncertainty. They take the step first, trusting that the ground will appear beneath their feet. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is feedback. When you believe everything works out for you, failure no longer humiliates you. It educates you. You don't ask, why did this happen to me? You ask, what is this teaching me? That shift alone transforms setbacks into stepping stones. Every rejection becomes redirection. Every delay becomes preparation. Many people live as if life is waiting to punish them. They hesitate, they shrink, they apologize for their dreams. But those who act as if everything works out live differently. They speak their ideas out loud. They apply even when they don't meet every requirement. They start businesses without knowing every answer. They trust that clarity will come through action, not before it. When you truly believe things will work out, you stop rushing success. You stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You understand that timing is not your enemy, impatience is. Growth has seasons. Seeds do not grow faster because you scream at the soil. They grow because the environment supports them. Your belief creates that environment. There will be days when nothing seems to move, when effort feels invisible, when silence is your only response. Acting as if everything works out means you stay consistent even when motivation disappears. Discipline becomes your faith in action. You show up not because you feel inspired, but because you believe consistency will eventually compound into results. People will doubt you. Some will laugh. Some will warn you to be realistic. They are not your enemies. They are prisoners of their own fear. Never take advice from someone who gave up on themselves. When you act as if everything works out, you stop seeking permission to live your life. You become responsible for your own direction. Optimism is not denial. Optimism is strategy. It keeps your mind open when stress tries to close it. It helps you see solutions where others only see problems. Businesses fail not only because of poor planning, but because leaders panic when things don't go as planned. Calm confidence in chaos is a competitive advantage. Your mind is the most powerful asset you own. Whatever story you repeat becomes your reality. If you keep telling yourself that things always go wrong, your brain will find evidence to support it. If you tell yourself that things work out, your brain searches for possibilities instead of excuses. Belief does not change the external world instantly, but it changes how you respond to it. and that response changes outcomes. Act as if every conversation could lead to something meaningful. Act as if every mistake is refining you. Act as if every delay is protecting you from something worse. This mindset does not make you passive, it makes you persistent. You still work hard, you still prepare, you still fail, but you do it with faith instead of fear. Life is not a straight line upward. It is messy, unpredictable, and sometimes unfair. But those who succeed are not those who avoided chaos. They are the ones who learn to dance inside it. Acting as if everything works out allows you to stay flexible. When one door closes, you don't collapse. You look for a window, then build a door if you have to. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You only need enough belief to take the next step. Momentum is created by movement, not perfection. Waiting to feel ready is the fastest way to stay stuck. Acting as if things work out is choosing progress over perfection every single day. When you wake up with this belief, even ordinary days become powerful. You listen more careful. Lie. You take risks more bravely. You forgive yourself faster. You understand that setbacks are temporary, but quitting can be permanent. This belief keeps you in the game long enough for opportunity to recognize you. Success often comes quietly, disguised as hard work and patience. Those who quit early never hear it knock. Acting as if everything works out keeps you at the door, ready. It teaches you to trust the process, even when you cannot see the destination. You are stronger than you think, more capable than you realize, and more prepared than you feel. Life has tested you before, and you are still standing. That is not an accident, that is proof. So move forward with confidence. Speak your dreams without apology. Take responsibility for your future and walk as if the universe is supporting your effort. Because when you act as if everything always works out for you, you become the kind of person who makes it true. When you carry this belief long enough, you begin to notice a quiet shift inside you. You stop begging life for signs and start becoming one. You realize that faith was never meant to remove difficulty. It was meant to remove despair. The greatest strength a human can possess is not control over circumstances, but trust in purpose. Long before clarity appears, conviction must already live in your heart. There is an ancient truth that has survived generations. What you focus on grows. When your focus is fear, fear multiplies. When your focus is faith, courage expands. Acting as if everything works out is choosing where you place your attention. It is understanding that storms do not come to destroy you, but to reveal what kind of foundation you have built your life upon. Every great journey begins with uncertainty. Even the most meaningful callings arrive without instructions. You are not meant to see the entire road. You are meant to walk today with intention. Obedience to the next step is more powerful than obsession with the final destination. When you move forward with trust, direction unfolds naturally. There will be moments when silence feels heavy, when prayers feel unanswered, when effort feels unnoticed. In those moments, remember this truth: delay is not denial. Some victories require patience, so your character can catch up to your calling. What arrives too early can crush you. What arrives on time strengthens you. Acting as if everything works out does not mean you avoid hardship. It means you refuse to let hardship define you. You learn to stand firm when emotions try to shake you. You choose integrity when shortcuts tempt you. You plant seeds even when you may not be the one to enjoy the harvest, because you understand that purpose is bigger than personal comfort. Life often tests belief before it rewards obedience. It asks, will you continue even when it's hard? Will you trust even when you don't understand? This is where many turn back. But those who persist discover that strength is not given at the start. It is revealed through endurance. When you stop seeing obstacles as punishment and start seeing them as preparation, everything changes. Pressure shapes you. Resistance trains you. Discomfort awakens abilities you never needed before. You were never meant to remain the same person forever. Growth requires transformation, and transformation often feels uncomfortable before it feels empowering. Act as if everything works out means you walk with humility and courage together. You do not boast about tomorrow, but you do not fear it either. You do your part today and release what you cannot control. Peace comes from knowing that your responsibility ends with effort, not outcome. Some doors will close without explanation. Let them. What is not meant for you cannot stay, and what is meant for you cannot miss you. Trusting this frees your heart from resentment and your mind from regret. You stop clinging to what left and start preparing for what is coming. When you believe things work out, gratitude becomes your default language. You are thankful not only for what went right, but for what redirected you. Gratitude sharpens vision. It reminds you how far you have come and strengthens you for what lies ahead. The world does not need more perfect people, it needs more faithful ones. People who show up honestly, people who try again after failing, people who speak hope into dark places, starting with their own minds. Acting as if everything works out allows you to become a light, not be. Because life is easy, but because your faith is unshaken, even when you feel small, your actions still matter. Small steps taken consistently can move mountains over time. Do not underestimate the power of daily discipline guided by belief. Great outcomes are rarely the result of one dramatic moment. They are the reward of quiet persistence. You were not created to live in fear of tomorrow. You were created with purpose, intention, and the ability to rise after every fall. Trust that what is meant for you is unfolding, even when you cannot see it yet. Walk forward with courage, speak with conviction, act with faith, and live as if every step you take is supported by something greater than your doubts. When you live with this mindset, you begin to understand a deeper truth. Peace is not the absence of trouble, it is the presence of trust. The heart that trusts does not panic when plans shift. It does not crumble when expectations break. It adjusts, it adapts, it remains steady. This kind of strength cannot be borrowed from others. It must be built within. There is wisdom passed down through generations that says you do not become strong by avoiding the fire, but by walking through it and discovering you are not consumed. Every challenge carries a lesson, and every lesson carries a blessing for those who are willing to learn. Acting as if everything works out allows you to remain teachable instead of bitter, hopeful instead of hardened. Sometimes life will strip you of what you lean on so you can discover what truly supports you. Titles may fade, people may leave, plans may collapse, but your purpose remains. What is built on truth cannot be shaken by temporary loss. When everything else is removed, you finally see what was essential all along. This belief changes how you treat people. You stop competing and start contributing. You stop envying and start encouraging. You understand that another person's success does not threaten your future. What is meant for you has your name on it, and no one else can claim it. This frees you from comparison and allows you to grow at your own pace. There will be seasons when obedience feels lonely, when doing the right thing costs you popularity, comfort, or approval. But character is shaped in private long before it is rewarded in public. Acting as if everything works out gives you the courage to stand alone if necessary, knowing that alignment is more valuable than applause. Even when your hands feel empty, do not believe your life is. Seeds are often invisible after they are planted. Just because you cannot see progress does not mean nothing is happening. Beneath the surface, roots are growing. Strength is forming. Timing is aligning. What you nurture in silence will speak loudly in due season. This way of living teaches patience without passivity. You wait, but you also work. You trust, but you also prepare. You pray with faith and move with discipline. You understand that belief is not a replacement for our effort. It is the fuel that sustains effort when results are slow. Act as if everything works out means you stop asking, what if it fails? And start asking, who will I become if I keep going? Because the greatest reward is not the outcome, it is the transformation. Success can be lost, but growth stays with you forever. When fear whispers that you are not enough, remember this truth: you were never asked to be enough on your own. You are asked to be faithful with what you have. Small beginnings are not weaknesses. They are invitations to trust. What starts small but is built with faith often grows beyond expectation. There will be moments when the weight feels heavy and the road feels long. In those moments, do not measure your life by speed, but by direction. Progress is still progress, even when it is slow. Moving forward with integrity is always better than standing still with excuses. As you continue to act with this belief, you become calmer in uncertainty, wiser in decision-making, and stronger in adversity. You stop reacting emotionally and start responding intentionally. You no longer fear being tested because you understand that testing reveals what belief has already built inside you. And quietly, without noise or announcement, you become someone who carries hope wherever you go. Not because you claim everything is perfect, but because you trust that even imperfection has purpose. You walk forward knowing that every step, whether easy or difficult, is shaping you into someone capable of handling what is coming next. As this belief settles deeper into your life, you begin to understand that resilience is not loud. It does not shout or demand recognition. It quietly chooses to rise again. It chooses forgiveness over resentment, patience over panic, wisdom over impulse. This is the kind of strength that endures, the kind that carries you through valleys without losing sight of the mountain. There is a sacred rhythm to growth that many people resist. First comes surrender, then comes strength. You release the need to control every outcome, and in that release, you gain clarity. You realize that control was never your greatest asset. Faith was. When you act as if everything works out, you stop gripping life with clenched fists and start moving with open hands. Sometimes the greatest miracles are not sudden breakthroughs, but quiet endurance. The ability to keep showing up when the excitement fades. The courage to remain kind when disappointment tries to harden your heart. The discipline to stay honest when compromise looks easier. These moments shape your future more than any single victory ever could. You will face moments when the path ahead demands more than you feel you have to give. In those moments, remember this truth passed down through time. Strength is often revealed after obedience, not before it. You take the step, and then the strength appears. You speak the truth, and then the courage rises. You commit, and then the capacity expands. Acting as if everything works out also teaches you how to let go gracefully. Not every chapter is meant to be read forever. Some lessons are meant to be learned, not live repeat. When something ends, do not curse the ending. Bless it for what it taught you, and trust that space has been created for something new to enter. This belief reshapes how you see setbacks. You stop seeing them as signs to retreat and start seeing them as invitations to refine. Refinement is not rejection, it is alignment. Life trims what is unnecessary so what truly matters can grow stronger. The pruning may feel painful, but it is always purposeful. In moments of doubt, anchor yourself in truth instead of emotion. Emotions rise and fall, but truth remains steady. Remind yourself that you have been carried before, that you have endured storms you once thought impossible, that you are still here, still learning, still becoming. This remembrance becomes your shield against despair. When you live this way, your presence becomes calming to others. People feel safe around those who trust the journey. Your words carry weight because they are rooted in experience, not theory. You do not promise easy roads, you offer honest hope. And that hope becomes contagious. You also learn to celebrate progress without arrogance. Gratitude keeps you grounded. It reminds you that every step forward was supported by effort, grace, and timing beyond your control. Gratitude protects you from pride and despair at the same time. It keeps your heart soft as your life expands. Act as if everything works out means you stop postponing joy until perfection arrives. You learn to find meaning in middle, peace in process, and purpose in persistence. You do not wait to arrive before you live fully. You live fully, and arrival becomes inevitable. Even when the future remains uncertain, your foundation is firm. You are not shaken by rumors, trends, or temporary losses. You are anchored to something deeper than circumstance. This is not blind optimism. It is informed trust. Trust built on experience, reflection, and the quiet assurance that your life is unfolding with intention. And so you keep walking, not rushed, not fearful, not defeated. You walk with resolve. You walk with humility. You walk with faith that even when the road bends, even when the night feels long, even when the answer is delayed, the journey itself is shaping you into someone ready for what lies ahead. When you truly live as if everything works out, you begin to notice the subtle ways life conspires in your favor. Doors you didn't see begin to open. Conversations that seemed random lead to connection. Opportunities you never expected arrive because your heart is aligned with possibility. There is a divine rhythm to life that favors the persistent, the faithful, the patient. It is not magic. It is the result of steadfast belief shaping the way you move through the world. You will discover that your words carry power you never imagined. Speaking with certainty, acting with faith, walking with integrity, these things ripple outward. Your energy touches others in ways that money, influence, or status never could. By believing everything works out, You create an invisible network of momentum. What you do quietly in faith today becomes the foundation for tomorrow's breakthroughs. Even in disappointment, there is a hidden blessing. Every loss teaches discernment. Every failure teaches humility. Every closed door teaches resilience. Acting as if everything works out does not erase pain, but it changes your relationship to it. Pain becomes a teacher, not a prison. Struggle becomes a refining fire, not a reason to quit. The world may try to convince you that obstacles are permanent, but faith whispers that every trial has an expiration date. You will also notice a transformation in your relationships. When you stop reacting from fear, you begin to engage from love. When you stop expecting others to fix your life, you begin to empower them and yourself. You stop tolerating negativity and start attracting those who lift you higher. Acting as if everything works out teaches you that the company you keep matters more than the circumstances you face. This way of living trains your mind to see solutions before problems, doors before walls, possibilities before limitations. You learn to interpret events not as punishments, but as prompts, nudges that guide you toward growth and refinement. Every setback becomes a question, not a condemnation. What can I learn? How can I improve? Where is the hidden path forward? This perspective transforms life into a canvas, not a battlefield. Faith and action are inseparable. Belief alone is empty, and effort alone can become exhausting. When you act as if everything works out, you merge these forces. You step into each day with confidence and commitment, not because you know what will happen, but because you trust that what matters most is not control. It is perseverance and intention. You will find that time itself bends differently around those who act this way. The moments you invest in preparation, in learning, in quiet persistence, compound into results that seem sudden to outsiders but are inevitable to you. Patience is no longer passive. It becomes strategic. Waiting is no longer fearful. It becomes faith in motion. You realize that life rewards consistency more than speed, obedience more than convenience, courage more than comfort. And finally, you learn the most powerful truth of all. The universe does not oppose you. It mirrors your belief back to you. If you walk in fear, you encounter fear. If you walk in doubt, you encounter doubt. But if you walk in trust, determination, and expectation, you meet doors where others see walls, solutions where others see chaos, and blessings where others see misfortune. Acting as if everything works out does not change the world instantly, but it transforms you, the person who faces the world, into someone unstoppable. And now, as you stand at the edge of your own life, remember this. The power to shape your future has always been in your hands. Every choice you make, every action you take, carries the potential to move mountains, even when the path seems hidden. Trust that the steps you take today, no matter how small, are planting seeds that will grow into forests of opportunity, wisdom, and fulfillment. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for certainty. Do not wait for someone else to give you a sign, because the sign has already been given. It is the quiet whisper inside you that refuses to give up, the spark that has survived every storm, the fire that insists on burning even when the night is long. Act boldly, speak courageously, and live fully, knowing that the universe is not waiting to judge you. It is waiting to support you. Let your heart be fearless, your mind be unwavering, and your soul be relentless in pursuing what is meant for you. The struggles, he doubts, the delays, they are not enemies. They are the instruments of your growth. They are shaping you into someone who is not only capable of surviving, but of thriving beyond what you ever imagined. So rise. Step forward with the certainty that everything works out, not because it must, but because you will not allow yourself to be stopped. Walk as if the world bends in your favor. Speak as if your words hold the power to create reality. Believe as if every failure is merely a stepping stone. Every loss is merely a lesson, and every challenge is merely preparation for the victory that is already yours. And when the world tries to convince you otherwise, remember, the greatest miracles are born not from ease, but from unshakable faith. The strongest people are not those untouched by hardship, but those who rise every time they fall, who persist when hope seems distant, who move forward even when the night is at its darkest. Your journey is sacred. Your life is a testament. And the moment you act as if everything works out, the impossible becomes inevitable, the unseen becomes visible, and the extraordinary becomes your reality. Walk forward and let the world witness what faith in action can truly achieve.